Hello, everybody. Sifa Mrazek here. Thank you for joining the CCKSF Online Expo that was held this December 18th. And thanks for joining the Mantis workshop. I hope you enjoyed it. I sure enjoyed offering it to you. This is just a follow-up video to some of the things, along with the notes that I'm going to post on the website as promised. So we covered a variety of techniques and a little bit of philosophy and mindset. So this is just go through a couple of things here. The first hand technique we did was the hook hand, and we talked about its use as a block and the formation of the hook and the retraction thereof. Okay, and that's a pretty typical and identifiable mantis technique that is worth knowing. Go, low, tie, hook, grapple, and punch. If we just look at this technique, it's worth just a moment of discussion. You'll see from the video, from the training, that the first movement is an outside block followed by an inside block, as though turning a wheel in the same direction. Okay, and the third moment of that technique is a strike or a counter strike, and that we talked about that being variable. You can use pretty much anything you want. Straight punch is most common, but you can use pretty much anything that you can dream of for a hand technique there. Okay, so shaving palm is a palm down technique using the outside edge of the palm and the forearm to strike with. And then shoveling palm is typically a palm up technique, palm facing the sky. And today we talked about shoveling palm used as not as a striking per se technique, but as a pushing, okay, to apply some force, like a lever, okay, to cut into the waist, across the waist, to push as part of a throw, for example. Elbow techniques we covered were upper technique, upper elbow, okay, and that lends itself well to breaking technique or uppercut technique, and then side elbow, which the side elbow is typically a cross elbow coming towards the inside, coming towards your center line, but it can also be used as outside elbow, striking this way. And if we modify that and modify the height, and instead of using the upper arm to strike with, we use the forearm, we can see the same circle used as, again, applying force in an outside movement across in conjunction with a fulcrum, for example, as a throwing technique. Okay, really classic mantis stuff right there. Kicking techniques, well, anything you want. Range control basically means using the leg work, using the kicking techniques to keep your opponent at what you want to be your optimal range. Forcing them back, baiting them in, counter kicking when they strike or when they kick towards you, and so on, to either be the primary striking technique or as a precursor or follow-up to. Cross kick was one we spent some time with, and we talked about that one being a range below the knee, typically. So anything from the ankle, lower shin, all the way up to the knee joint itself as a jam, blocking a kick, stopping a kick before it starts, as a leading into a stomping step or a crushing step with the heel, using as a control, and again using at the knee joint to disrupt the stance, to break the balance. Stances, we chose 3. These are 3 great stances that Mantis loves to use. Twisting stance is definitely worth knowing. 7-star step is another one that lends itself well to throwing techniques, tripping techniques. And the jade circle stance has a variety of uses, including throwing, and so on. So it's a very mobile stance. If you think of it, your back leg is allowed to be up, which is counterintuitive. Well, not counterintuitive. It's different than maybe other stances, forward stances that you might have learned where, like gongbo or mountain stance, where both feet are required to be on the earth for that stance to be fully functional. This one allows the foot to come up. It's a little bit more mobile, has a different use, and lends itself well to the fast running style footwork that the mantis can sometimes use. Philosophy of balance not only applies to our technique. We talked about using the opponent's force. So how do we do that? We stick, we follow, we add some velocity to what they're doing, and then we employ our own counter strike, hopefully at the same time, which really amplifies the striking potential of our technique. Okay, it's pretty sophisticated stuff. We talked about using the movement and the balance footwork, not just physically on balance, you don't fall over so your opponent doesn't trip you, but how to use that connectivity so one movement can flow into the next. So there's this rhythm, a cascade of techniques, if you will. Mantis is a fast style, and typically it will employ multiple techniques in quick succession before it changes direction and then or backs out and so on. So it's quick. So we need the balance there, not just in the physical body, but also in the use of the force. Okay, and so on. So in, out, up, down, left, right, turning straight, all those things have their opposites, and what we want to do is keep those in nice harmony. Balance also applies to mindset. So as martial arts as a way of life, the technique, the style that you do, the way that you train should not only make you a competent martial artist, it should make you a competent person. Okay, and the style that you practice should enhance your good qualities and help you to learn how to control the parts of your nature that you don't want to suppress, but you want to balance. So that's one of the deeper health benefits or psychological benefits of Kung Fu training. And if you're training well, that should give you that. So we're looking for longevity, we're looking for health, we're looking for mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, we're looking for physical strength and resiliency. So there's a lot of different benefits. And so the idea of balance, we need to have your lifestyle together. If you really want to train seriously in Chinese martial arts, you need to take care of your body, feed it well, sleep, rest when it's time to rest, work properly, and so on. So you have a good balance and you don't overextend yourself, hopefully too much, too long in any one direction. Range, fighting range of the mantis works with short, medium, long, contacting range. It works with all the ranges. Mantis is, as we mentioned, is one of the first hybrid styles of Kung Fu. So the original founder, a few hundred years ago, used the movement. The upper arm movements were derived from the movement of the insect, the mantis, but it also combined with about 17 other existing famous styles, so the top techniques of these styles, and incorporated into its own technical repertoire. And so from Shaolin, from Wudang, there's internal and external styles in there. And so it really is a mixed bag and one of the first eclectic or so-called hybrid systems of Kung Fu. And so that's why it tries to be able to address a wide variety of scenarios. The mindset of, if you look at the insects, okay, the insect very small, but it's very strong, and it doesn't know its own size, so it will take on larger prey, and so on and so forth. So tenacity, patience, perseverance are all sort of attributes of this insect. It's very quick. It's a ferocious hunter, and so we can extrapolate that. Again, we want to go past mimicry and not just imitating movements of the animal or the insect. Okay, Kung Fu is more than that. That's important, but we want to go beyond that. What are the deeper benefits for us as human beings? How does it make us a better person? Okay, so we can look at these things and say, okay, yeah, patience, perseverance, becoming a good strategist, learning how to plan, learning how to take advantage of opportunities. All these things are useful, not just in combat. That's a very, very, very small view. We want to look bigger and say, that's how I want to make my life. I want to enjoy life in general, right? And make myself a better person. So if you as a person, not a fighter, but as a person, you're patient, you're persevering, you're adaptable. Oh, that's a different story then, isn't it? Okay. So adaptability, a couple more comments on that. This is really important, especially in these last couple of years. Being able to go with the flow, being able to accept the situation and make the best of it is particularly important during these times. A lot of times, we make plans and then life happens. And so when things don't go to our expectation, how can we use our martial arts training to reconcile those incongruencies? And so this is all part of it, and that's hopefully some of the deeper things that you're able to get out of your martial arts style, whatever that style is, to make you at peace, make you feel happy, content, and not too wound up. Those are all important, and that way, when you feel better about yourself, when you are at your best, then you're able to give the best of yourself back to others. So, hope that helps. Thanks again for enjoying the seminar. If you want to reach me, you can find me at my website, kungfuregina.com. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, keep training hard.